Okay, I'll make a motion to come out of executive session. No money was spent, no decisions were made.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, reports. Good evening. I received a letter from Mark Molinaro thanking the town of Unionville for taking part in the Think Differently initiative. For the past 2 weeks, I've been working with Mary Pearson, the confidential secretary to the supervisor, to clean out and organize files in the supervisor's office. Mary and I have also been discussing different grants that may be available to the town, and also are working on updating the employee handbook, and that should be ready shortly. I had a meeting set with a commercial realtor regarding the Route 55 property. The person never showed up. John and I waited 45 minutes longer than they were
Yes.
supposed to be there, and they never showed
Or call.
or called. Now I have a meeting set with another realtor, in which John and myself and Robert Taft will sit in and see what they can do for us. And I will also try to contact other local realtors, but I feel it is in the best of the town's interest to move rather quickly on this. And that's it. John, do you have anything?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Karina? Dave?
No, not really.
Steve?
Just wanted to apologize for missing last meeting. Had that respiratory virus going around and strep throat as well.
If that's the case, thanks for not coming.
Yeah, exactly. About
going
half the
around
people I know
everywhere.
are battling it.
Okay, so now we'll do our reports. Ryan?
I think he went home.
You wanna do the book, the parks?
All right,
first?
Parks.
Okay, so since the last meeting, I've been in contact with AECom. They're the people that are kind of our in-between between the DEC and us as far as the dam on Timor Park. I did a walkthrough with him. He kind of went over things with me and just kind of explained what's going on with the dam itself. And then he's in the process of putting together his yearly report for us, so he'll get that to us as soon as possible. He's also putting together, because I guess we were supposed to have this, and we don't at this point, but it's an inspection and maintenance procedure or log or something to that effect. So that's in the works. He's been pretty helpful, pretty easy to deal with, and we'll see where it goes from there. We had a bit of a flood in the large hall down at the park, and I just wanted to say that dealing with NYMER, the new insurance company, has been awesome. They've really bent over backwards to make things easier, which has been really nice. My staff, Tom St. Ange and Tom Tierney, have really come through a lot for me lately. We got the whole security system down at the park with all the cameras up and running, so that is really nice. Obviously, the ice rinks are still not open because it is
Why?
not cold. Yeah. Once it's freezing for at least a week, then we can talk about it. I just say that because we get at least 5 calls a day about it.
You're kidding, people think it would.
Yeah.
Every-
It's on.
Every single day.
Do they
Wow.
think we have maybe
They do.
boils in there?
I have no idea. Yeah. Every single day. The deck, that was a problem down at the park. It's been a safety issue for a while. We actually, in the past 2 days, fixed it. We made it safe again, so that is usable, which is nice. And then John Cox, our Eagle Scout, came through. He built 2 very nice ADA picnic tables for us.
Yay.
So that's been great.
Good.
Things are going.
Thanks,
Thank
Jake.
you.
Ryan, are you ready?
Good evening. The December A-Fund revenues were $86,004.55. The A-Fund expenditures were $298,092.92, and the D-Fund expenditures were $123,438.58. Started working on what all of 2016 looked like. And so preliminarily, what I can say is that when you take all of the money that all the revenue that the town brought in, and then subtract away all of the expenditures, the town's revenues went up approximately $194,000. So what that'll mean for the fund balances is that both the A and the D fund balances will go up. Again, I have to work with the accountant to figure out exactly, how much is for each fund, and I leave it up to the accountant to determine what those fund balance numbers are, which, will come out when the, officially when the AUD gets filed with the state. So revenues exceeded expenditures, and there was the number that Dutchess County real property taxes published is that the tax rate compared to last year go down 4.79%, I think is.
6.9, 4.7.
Is it 4.7? I thought it was 4.
I think it was 4.69.
So I'll check on that, so double check on that. But between 4.5% and 5%, which is what we discussed at the budget process. So, and if anybody has any questions, please do ask.
Just clarification, that 194,000 was unspent funds, is that what you were saying?
Right, so the town, the records that I have are, the town brought in, and this also, the way it laid out, it includes the $860,301 for the fire department. So the $4 million number, I guess subtract $860,301 for the fire department from that. But, so $4,073,740.49. So the fire department money is not available really to the town government to spend. But I have it here as both the revenue and an expenditure, since the money comes in from the tax collector to the supervisor, and then a check gets cut essentially the next day. So, and then the expenditures were, sorry, where we go? $3,623,406.04, with a few additional expenditures of $193,566 in March for the truck that was ordered in 2015. So that money was really paid out of the capital projects fund. And then we paid off the band payment. So the principal and the interest on that was $46,272.50. And then other H fund expenditures, like AECom and other things related to capital projects, were $16,462.30. So when you take the revenues, subtract the expenditures, and then these additional expenditures, you're left with $194,033.65. Again, I have to go over all this with the accountant. I'm sure something is a little off. For instance, I don't know why there's $1.20 for the MTA tax from last month. I have to talk with the payroll clerk about that, because I didn't do that. But, so again, all these numbers we're going to go through. But the basic, simple story is the town brought in more revenue than it spent, and taxes went down. And we just got the information today about the bond. The bond that the town will be getting, the percentage is in the high 2%. The estimate that we originally had was that it was going to be about 3.25%, and then with everything changing the last 2 months, our financial advisor, Ms. Ferguson, thought it was going to be maybe closer to 4%. So we're coming in at about 2.8, 2.9. Our interest payment next year, I think we budgeted 12,000 something. She thought it might be upwards of 15,000. Looks like it's going to be more like 8,000 or 9,000.
Great.
So, and then in 2018 is when we'll start paying off both principal and interest for the next 14 years. So, okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Recreation?
Great news. Our registration website is now live and functioning, and we can register for certain programs. Even now, create households so that all of our residents and guests and friends in our community can manage their own participation in our recreation programming. So that's fantastic. Since 2017 started, they'll be able to pull up their own invoices, kind of get, tax reports, see how active they've been within the community at a glance. So it will be really, really fantastic as we push through and have it be a norm. We will be accepting credit cards as well as our regular payments in office, like checks and cash. That all will still happen. Camp registration, which everybody wants to know about, will be open on February 1st. So you can do certain things right now, like register for some of the upcoming programs that we've got. But as far as camp goes, all of that will be live on February 1st. A couple upcoming events that we have. Free family movie night, January 27th. So we invite everyone to come out and watch Finding Dory. It will be really nice. We'll have concession items for sale, just a time to get together on a Friday night. We've got a new program, Youth Entrepreneurs, happening every month. We will have a group of kids coming and brainstorming some great ideas. They'll have a free vendor spot at Community Day to really pump up, their creativity and involvement within the community. So we're looking forward to a nice crowd every month to see what they have to offer. We've got our second annual Kids Overnight happening on Saturday, February 4th. They will spend the night at Timor Park like they did last year, and it went really well. The kids enjoyed it because it's, a kind of a unique moment that you get to have staying over at the park. Full Moon Hike coming up on February 10th, and we've got TGTT days coming up. You can even register for the next TGTT day online via the website unionvalerec.com. So if you need further information on any of the programs, feel free to call us. It's on the website, but we've got a lot still going on. I want to thank our parks crew, Jake and Tom, because we've had little glitches with the water damage, but we're working around it. Our after-school program is still, finding a new little space, but we are working with it, and they've been fantastic. So thank you to them. Couldn't do it without them. And that's pretty much it.
Well, thanks to both
Thanks,
of you for
Jess.
working around this problem.
Okay, dog control, I did not, my email hasn't been working in a couple of days, so I didn't receive one. Recycling, I did not receive one, and I don't see Tom here. Constables, there is a report on file in the town clerk's office.
Right, I'd like to just add to that since the problem at the park, Jessica and Jake are having a meeting with the constables next Wednesday, so that we'll go over all that stuff in case they get there first and they can shut things down before we have another situation.
Okay, that's a good thing, Jake. Thank you for all you do, Jake and Jess. Town clerk.
Okay, the report for the month of December. Conservation license, $65. Certified copies, $110. The copy machine, $1. Marriage license, $40. Recreation programs, $1,920. After school programs, $7,118. Nothing for the equestrian center or swim passes. Facility rentals, $1,690. Special events, $0. Recycling center compactor fees, $15,044. The refuse bin, $678. And dog licenses, $189. After all fees were paid to the state for marriage license and ag and markets and conservation license, we brought in $26,739.50. And I just also want to add that this Sunday, I'm going to be selling passes at the recycling center from 10:30 to 3:30. So if you haven't already gotten your permit for the 2017 year, stop by and we can issue you one on Sunday at the center.
Can you announce what these cost?
Yes, for a resident, 59 and younger is $50. 60 and above is $30. Non-resident, 60 and above is $60. And non-resident, 59 and under is $100.
And the punch tickets?
Those are $30. So no price changes from last year for anything.
Okay.
Can I make one thing, remind people that 2016 ID is no longer valid, you have to have
Right.
2017 to use your recycling facility.
But
Which is
you
why
can-
they sold Sunday there.
Yeah.
Right. But you can use the punch tickets from 2016.
Right, they're
Yeah,
good.
the trash
They're
cards are good
throughout, the
until
punch
you've used them
tickets.
up, yeah.
Zoning and planning,
Okay, we had a very quiet month, no money taken in at either board.
code enforcement, he did not hand in. He has been on vacation. And highway.
Okay. Report for December and January. Plowed and sanded the road several times, had sand and salt delivered, washed the trucks several times. We try to do it after every storm, weather permitting, how cold it is. Repaired the lower section on the side of the salt shed the other day. It had blown out from salt and sand that got down in. So the guys had pulled it off, cleaned it all up, and put it back, and went and got new lumber and fixed it. They did a nice job for highway guys. Fixed 2 mailboxes, did some ditch work on Cutler Lane and Mack Road. Removed the dead deer from Darren Road, installed a new window and a backhoe. Serviced truck 3. Had some warranty work done on truck 4. Right now we're in the process of replacing the hydraulic tank. Instead of sending it out, I got different prices. It would have been about $1,500 for somebody to build one, design it, and install it. For $500, I got one, and Mikey Miller has been, and Jimmy have been welding everything. They had to take everything off, cut everything off, and put it back precisely, and they're doing a really good job of it. So they're almost done with that. We're going to save some money there. Replaced the cutting edge in truck 14. Worked on a minor water problem on Tompkins Road. Picked up some orange bags that were full of garbage from people throwing their garbage out the window. The town resident must have filled them up and left them there for us to pick up. And filled some potholes with cold patch. Now, the other day I had Larry Padgey come over and take a look at our roof. I've never noticed this, and neither of anybody else that has worked there. There's a sag in our roof in the back shop in the metal building. Larry agrees with me. It's not something that myself or my guys can safely handle. We're not, structural professionals or whatever you want to say. But I'm going to try to get a hold of George and try to find somebody that does steel buildings to figure out what's going on in there. Because if you pull around, between the 2 buildings, the salt shed and the front shop, and just look out, you can see it. There's a big bow in there.
It's a steel building, you
Yeah.
said? Oh,
Yeah. And
that's weird.
well, I just got to be some kind of trusses under there that you would think be supporting it. But we're going to have somebody try to get up in there and take a look at it and see what's going on with that. And that's it for that. And yeah, that's it. We're getting on that page. On to these quotes I gave you guys. The old Chevy, the 2004 Chevy, the flywheel's going bad in it, and it's not something we can do in-house. It's unfortunately, it's too big of a project. I got a price quote from, I guess, Rugies now, used to be Audias, for $1,644.42, and Ed Davis was $1,544.88. Patty, would you like to, or you're good? You can't.
No, somebody can make a motion.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right.
yeah.
Based on the 2 quotes, obviously Ed Davis is the lower of the 2, $1,544.88. So I'll make a motion that we award the repair work to him.
I'll second it.
Just like to make an addition to that. Frequently, when you get into these projects, you find other problems that I have concern that what caused this problem to happen. And if they find an issue that needs repaired while this is apart.
Yeah, they need to notify Richie, anything.
They
find
will, and I will
Yeah,
contact,
They will,
But
send them an
I don't
email.
want to hold the job up till next meeting,
right.
Yeah.
if we need to do some further repairs.
So, John made a
So,
motion.
John seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Andrea?
Okay, Councilman Welsh,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly, Supervisor Thompson,
I have to abstain due to a conflict. I'm related to them.
Councilman McMorris,
Yes.
and Councilman Frazier.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's it. Anything else you guys have for me? Questions, concerns?
No,
Leave, get out of
thank you
here.
guys for
Okay.
working on that building.
Take a look at Hookfront.
Yes, sir.
There is, it's beginning to sag very much.
Which part?
Right in the beginning, just as you're coming in, just before it comes to the Y.
Yeah,
There's a culvert there, I guess. that
frost
looks like
heave and, the frost is heaving and that's staying down because there's moisture down there.
Yeah,
All right, I'll take a look at that. I don't know
thank you.
what we can do. I've got a frost heave on Wisman that has never been there. Right in the middle, halfway down through. It's never been there. It started this year, so it's happening, but I will definitely take a look at that for you. All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Okay, now, media. Anything?
We need a new battery backup.
Can't argue on that one.
So it was a bit delayed today because one, I forgot it was a meeting tonight, but the equipment had all failed. Everything was off, nothing was running at all. Turns out,
Is it running now?
it's running now.
Okay.
I wouldn't have bothered coming to the mic if it wasn't running now.
We were in there. We don't.
Someone at the interview said that there had been an issue with the circuit breaker.
Yeah.
It was blown somehow just for this corner here. I got an alert that the power had gone down in the machine yesterday. Andrew was running around, probably never had a chance to call me back. Busy day yesterday?
It was this bad, even
Great,
yesterday.
yeah. But, so I was aware that something had happened, just unfortunately couldn't get to it. The UPS has failed. So the battery backup that takes care of the system and keeps everything running when the power does go out is no longer functioning. So we need to get a new one. And this one's going to have monitoring so we know when the power goes out versus
And how much does that cost?
it's going to cost about $350.
Do we, 300
$350.
and we have this money in the budget for meeting?
Pretty sure I have the
We'll
budget in
work
my
with
account.
Ryan on that.
Okay. Approved? Yes? Already? That'd be cool.
I don't, for 350, I don't think we have to.
We have-
approve it.
I mean,
It's
it's
in
low
your
enough
budget.
that if it's in your budget, it doesn't hit the procurement.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as far as the fuse blowing, do we have anything that we could have done about knowing about that? I mean, what else is on this
Yeah, what else is on the circuit? That's the
That's
key.
what's-
I don't know. Well, maybe that's why my computer went out for 2 days.
Could be.
That could be.
Is that end of the building?
No, it really wasn't off completely. It just went crazy.
Strange.
But it
I didn't
shouldn't
get
work at all.
emails. I couldn't send
I'll come
emails.
take a look with you. Actually, you know what? You might be hooked up to the access point here, which provides the internet for this side of the building. Because that's
We've
powered
had
through this
problems,
circuit.
in my office with that.
Okay, so, yeah, we gotta look into this.
Yeah, I mean, Vector Security calls me for every other reason.
Enough.
I don't know why they didn't call me for that.
All right, well, that's where we're at right now, so I'm gonna forward that over to Andrea and talk to Ryan and get that ordered.
Okay. Okay. Discussions, Association of Towns attendance. There's money in the budget for 2 people to attend, 2 board members.
Yeah.
John does not want to go, Karina does not want to go, I am not going, so Dave would like to go and Steve would like to go. That being said, Dave goes down on a train every day.
Yeah.
We have, what, $800 set aside for 2?
The idea was 400.
400 each. So there is $400. Steve, if you want to travel down and back every day, the same as Dave, I know that saved quite a bit of money. If not, anything over the 400, I guess you have to cover yourself.
I mean, we've had money for this in the past. A big part of the Association of Towns is networking with both vendors and other town officials before and after class periods. I mean, I'm going to spend between 5 and 6 hours a day, going back and forth, getting to the train station, down to Grand Central, then to the motel and back. I just, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Dave actually did it last year.
I know he did it last year. I don't, I mean,
I know
I think
trains
there's
run
a big
continuous.
advantage to staying down there as far as information is concerned and use of time. And again, we had the money in the budget last year. I asked during the budget process whether we had put money for this purpose
put-
in in there, and you said yes.
We put 800 in there.
Well, that's, apparently you're
Two
telling me that's
people.
not enough. I've
I
never
don't
been
know.
involved in the amounts.
How much did it cost you last year?
I didn't, all I had was the voucher. I didn't, see what the numbers were on. The bills came directly here to town hall. I don't know what lodging costs. I was gonna call today, but I saw in the resolution calls for paying for lodging.
I mean, if 800 is enough to pay for both of you, that's fine if you want to stay there.
I think we could transfer money later on, when he comes back, we'll know how much, right?
And so the registration's $100
Each.
each, so that's $200 there.
Right.
So, I mean, train costs for 2 days round trip, meals for Councilman McMorris, I guess might come to another $100 between train and meals, maybe a little more.
Maybe a little
100.
Maybe
more.
a little more for the train.
The train
Well,
is,
I get senior
the train is $24 each direction.
He
'Cause
gets
it's-
senior citizens
I get
discount.
seniors.
Okay, I don't know about that. Yet,
Neither do I.
There's
What
no
I'm
fee for
saying is
parking on
there-
Monday.
It's a holiday, so no, there wouldn't be
Yeah,
paying for parking on
There's
Monday.
no parking fees. And in fact, if you go down Sunday and Monday, because there's no peak hours either, it's all off-peak.
But I thought you
Yeah.
weren't parking, you were taking the train.
I gotta park my car at the train.
Oh, okay.
Driving, you gotta drive to some train station
Yeah.
and then take the
Okay.
train from there,
Yeah,
right?
he can't get it from his house.
So, I mean, I guess if it's 100 plus another 150 for Councilman McMorris, it's 250 out of 800.
And then
There's 550
there's
left in that
550
line.
left if that's what it
So it'll be
costs.
100 plus 450 for,
For how many nights?
like, whatever
Yeah, I
the
don't know
town
what
board
it
decides.
costs.
If you,
Yeah.
I think he should just go, and we'll transfer money when he comes back to cover what's not in there, if there's enough,
that's up to,
there's a shortfall.
it's up to all of you, so.
I think that would be the simplest
I
approach.
think I saw at the last meeting that Dave is gonna be the delegate. So I wouldn't need to stay for Wednesday, I could come back Tuesday evening. So it'd be Sunday evening and Monday evening, 2 nights.
I mean,
Tuesday.
let's hope.
What's that?
The vendors all leave Tuesday, 'cause when I went down there last year in the afternoon, there weren't any vendors there, they were all packed up and gone.
Yeah, I get that, but there's still meetings that go on.
Tuesday noon. Tend to leave like Tuesday at noon,
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
After classes, I've met with town officials. Some of the vendors put on hospitality gatherings, and you network with other town officials at those, and the vendors. I mean, that's the full advantage of going down there.
Okay, so there's that much money left over, I think he can do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
For
I
2
don't know
nights.
if they have special rates for this event or what the cost is. I hadn't looked into it, and as I mentioned, the bills in the past have gone directly to the town clerk.
Okay, well,
And I was
I
gonna,
think just send him, we'll deal with it when we come back, if there's a shortfall, it's gonna be close. It's not gonna be that much difference between what's spent and what's in the budget, I think.
there shouldn't be a lot, no. I would think it'd be within $100.
Mm-hmm.
anyone else have any comments?
I mean, if Dave is really not staying and Dave spends less than so if it's 400 allocated for each, which was what the thinking when the budget was created, we can probably creatively play with that $800.
Of
Dave
course.
may not, if it's $100 for each of them, we know $200 are gone. But,
Right.
if Dave is saying he wants to go down the train each time and, you know,
Right,
without
it's-
parking, then it may be that if Steve is saying maybe it's over by $100, well, maybe that's really left over. Maybe it only comes to 800 for two.
Exactly, and I don't think the whole idea of it was 400
strict.
each. It was
Mhm.
800 for
Right.
two people to go. So if
Whoever
one
falls.
uses
Well,
more than.
originally it was
doesn't-
for all, supposed to cover all of us. Is, you know, was the idea that we all have the opportunity to go down there. But, you know, since there are two of us, yes, there's $800 available.
And if Dave only uses 200,
And I
then
can tell you
there's
that
600 left for you.
I take full advantage of what the vendors offer for meals, so that I don't have to be
Right,
reimbursed.
so, right,
Right. When the budget was created, though, it says town board members two, going to Association of Towns.
but it
So
doesn't,
that was the
right, and
intent
it
to
doesn't
be two.
allocate, though, 400 to Dave and 400 to Steve.
No,
It just
no.
says, this
It's
is
just
how
a
much
theory.
we should spend,
Mhm.
because I think, honestly, Ryan looked into it, and that's probably about how much was spent last year on
Probably.
the same situation. So
Okay.
I think we're fine.
I think we're fine, so we'll wait till the resolution. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the John Deere Gator Plow declare as surplus. Okay, I got a memo from Jake. Town board members, I think all of you've got one.
Yes.
The Park and Recreation Department has excess equipment that we would like to sell at auction. Some of the equipment is past its usable lifespan. The rest of the equipment is not used, and I would like to auction off the equipment to add revenue for our town. The equipment, Gator utility vehicle, 6x4, over 3,000 hours on it. It is past its usable lifespan and has been decommissioned. A Skag Zero turn mower, model SZC 36A-19KA. This mower was purchased by a previous park manager, and it is rarely ever used. It's too small to be a viable resource for the park. John Deere heavy-duty 72-inch plow and kit, originally purchased for the Gator utility vehicle. In the years since it has been purchased, it has never been used. It's brand new. It's just gonna sit in the barn and rust if we don't do something with it. So he writes, in my opinion, we should sell these items now before they sit and deteriorate past the point where they can't be sold. Thank you for your consideration of this request. So we did write up a resolution to request a surplus these items, and if there's any questions regarding these items, Jake is here now if you'd like to ask.
As part of discussion, I'd like to recommend that we use Absolute Auction and Realty for,
I think that's who we used
Is that-
last time.
I'm not sure who got used last year.
That's who we
but-
used last year,
But yeah,
Okay.
doesn't have.
right?
I recommended them for another,
We
We
used
used
them,
Absolute for our
Absolute.
stuff, Richie used somebody else. for the-
Richie used Auctions International, and they're fine too. We used Absolute Auctions, and they were fine too,
Yeah, it
so
seemed to work.
it
fine.
seemed to work.
yeah, so I would like to go with them again. They're local, they don't have any listing fees, and with my experience, they've brought top dollar for the equipment that I've had to
Well,
sell.
yeah, we got
Yeah,
pretty good
exactly.
money for
Yeah, we
this
did
stuff.
well last year.
We did, we did.
Um,
So Jake will take care of that, and
I'd like to also recommend that the funds for the proceeds go into Jake's equipment line.
Okay.
Jake's,
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say
he's
no.
like, all right,
All right.
great.
okay. We have a resolution, so when we get to it, we get to it.
Thank you, guys.
Town-owned property on Route 55, again, I mentioned that in the beginning, that I did have a meeting with a Realtor that never showed up. So I, again, have one this Wednesday. If I can get another one before then, I will. But we'd like to move forward on this. Is there any?
I noted with the last meeting there that you mentioned getting an appraisal. I believe we got an appraisal last year on that, didn't we?
It was prior to last year.
Was it prior to last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
And I
know.
think things changed, and that's why Robert Taft now is involved,
Okay,
our
Oh, that's
assessor,
good.
because he came to me Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday, I saw him and I told him what was going on. And he said, would you mind if I sit in on that meeting? Because, you know, the appraisal has to be done. And what normally happens with the commercial realtors is they will go and do their own appraisal. So we don't have to hire a different firm to do
Okay.
this. But Robert wants to be, you know, just make sure that they understand our rules and regulations in our town, what can and can't be done there, so then they appraise it properly.
Speaking of that, we had talked about having a couple workshop sessions to look
Yes.
at the code through that area and see if we can't make that more attractive.
Maybe we can do that at the next meeting, if nothing major comes up by then.
Okay. Now, I definitely
And I'll
think we
get a
need to
hold
look
of-
at it, because
yeah.
whatever we have in place currently isn't working. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we need to make some
Yeah,
adjustments to make that
And,
more attractive.
I could have Liz and the planning board and the zoning
Right.
board here. So we may be able to set that up for next meeting, we'll see where we, you know, when there's no reports and not a lot going on,
Yeah.
then yeah,
Good idea.
maybe at the next meeting, and,
And we ought to, do it before we list it, so that if we can at least tell them that this is in the works, that, you know, to
Right.
make it available for more
Right.
options.
so yeah, I think at the next meeting, we can try and set that up for the next, all right?
Yep.
There are vacancies on the ethics board. I haven't heard anything
Nobody's
from
knocking down the door
anybody.
to get on
Nobody's
there.
knocking down the door to get on there. People, I guess, don't want to volunteer anymore. Everyone wants to get paid for their work. And now resolutions and motions. John, you want to read the first one?
Okay, resolution 1711 to authorize payment. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes the payment of all general fund claims and highway fund vouchers as set forth in the abstract number 1 of 2017, which is available in the town clerk's office, and authorize the town supervisor to make all payments.
Second.
Town board discussion? Roll call vote?
Councilman Welch?
Aye.
Councilman Kelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Tompkins?
Aye.
Councilman McMorris?
Aye.
Councilman Frazier?
Aye.
Karina? Yeah, you got to wait. You want to share with them?
Oh, Mr. Resolution 17-12, accepting town board minutes from 2016. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby accept the minutes as offered from the town board meeting from all meetings from 2016.
I'll second. Town board discussion? Roll call vote?
Councilman McMorris?
Recording for the roll call vote.
Councilman Welsh?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kelly? Supervisor Tompkins?
Aye.
Councilman McMorris?
Aye.
Councilman Frazier, yeah.
Resolution 1713, authorizing attendance at the New York State Association of Towns. Whereas the New York State Association of Towns will hold its annual conference for elected officials in New York City from February 19, 2017 through February 27, 2017, and whereas classes will be given at the annual conference where elected officials and town employees can acquire valuable information. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes the following town of Unionville elected officials and town employees to attend the 2017 New York State Association of Towns Conference in New York City. Town supervisor, town council members, 4 town justices, 2 town clerk, tax collector, building inspector, and we chose Dave and Steve to go. Be it further resolved that attendees shall be entitled to reimbursement for lodging, meals, and travel expenses, subject to review and approval of the town supervisor, town bookkeeper, and town board.
Second.
Okay, go ahead.
So just one on the Association of Towns website. The conference now costs $125 per person. And the hotel room for 2 nights, it was Sunday and Monday night, would be $292.
So we got it in there then.
There's one more thing. Oh, but everything has to be booked, registered by the Friday of next week.
Got it, Steve?
So tomorrow or next week before Friday.
Thank you.
Yep.
And it looks like you hit the number of the budget.
The registration?
Andrea will send out the registration for both of yous.
Yeah.
And is Andrea gonna book a motel, or Steve, did you book it last time?
No, Mary Lou took care of everything.
It's better if Andrew does, otherwise the
Okay.
tax.
Yeah, I can use the tax exempt form and
Okay, so.
put it on the credit card if that's what needs to happen.
Monday,
Yeah,
if we can write ourselves a note to get that done.
yes.
I was replaying in my head what I said. It's $292 for the hotel room per night.
So
2 nights.
300 a night, that's 600.
So it's $584 for 2 nights. Plus, well, I don't have to be taxes. But, yeah. Okay, just want to be clear that it's the right thing.
Good, thanks.
Roll call vote, Andrea?
Councilman Welsh,
Aye.
Councilwoman Kelly, Supervisor Tompkins,
Aye.
Councilman McMorris,
Aye.
Councilman Frazier.
Aye.
Dave?
Okay, which one is it? Because I don't have numbers on mine.
Declaring town parks and recreation surplus.
Okay. Which number is this?
14.
1714.
Okay, whereas the town of Unionville Highway Superintendent is informed.
No, you have the
No.
wrong one. Here.
Whereas the town of Unionville Parks Director has informed the town board that the following town of Unionville Park and Recreation equipment is outlived its useful life and should be deemed surplus. One Gator utility, 6x4, 6x4, a Skag zero-turn mower, and a John Deere heavy-duty 72-inch plowing kit. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby deems the below listed equipment used by the town of Unionville Parks and Recreation as surplus, and be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes that this equipment be auctioned to the highest bidder.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion? Roll call vote?
Councilman Welsh,
Aye.
Councilwoman Kelly, Supervisor Tompkins,
Aye.
Councilman McMorris,
Aye.
Councilman Frazier.
Aye.
Steve?
Okay, Resolution 17-15, authorizing payment of zoning board and planning board members by stipend. Whereas the town board of the town of Unionville desires to pay the town of Unionville zoning board of appeals members and as well as planning board members by stipend, and whereas each member shall receive a stipend at the end of the year based on the total number of meetings attended at a rate of $100 per meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes payment of the town of Unionville zoning board of appeals and planning board members by yearly stipend, and be it further resolved that the payment shall be at the rate of $100 per meeting attended and be paid at the end of every year to the respective member based on the number of meetings attended in that year.
Second that.
Any discussion?
No?
Do I need to explain this?
I hope not, maybe to the, some of the members of the boards.
Yes. So, again, the members of the Planning and Zoning Board get $100 for each meeting they attend. It's not $1,200 a year because there should be 12 meetings. If there's 3 meetings and they attend all 3, they will get $300. It's a stipend, it's not a pay scale or anything like that. If they do not attend a meeting, if they're sick or they can't make it, and an alternate steps in for them and attends that meeting, the alternate then gets the $100. This is the only fair way for it to be done. And are there any more town board discussions regarding this?
I served on the planning board for a number of years before I became a board member here. If a meeting is canceled I believe there should still be some kind of compensation for that meeting, because the members of the planning board still have to schedule that meeting off. And then if it is canceled, then, you know, they certainly have free time. But they've already had to modify their, personal schedule to make themselves available for that meeting. It's very
But how do
similar.
you determine if the meeting was actually formed? If it was canceled because the person called and said, oh, I can't make it, so now we don't have a meeting, I do understand that. But if they had nobody even, because they have
Well,
to schedule.
if the meeting's canceled because there's no business, they still had to schedule their personal schedule
But that would
to be
cost us-
available for that meeting.
That would cost us more than if they attended.
I didn't say that they needed to get the full amount.
Oh. Now,
I think there should be some
I
kind of
think this is
compensation
good. I
for
mean,
making yourself available.
I gotta be honest with you. I do believe they should be compensated for being on these boards and attending the meetings. But that being said, there are a lot of towns out there. It's a volunteer thing. They don't even get paid in other towns.
when I was on it, I got nothing for years.
Right, and I know of other towns, I looked them up, they don't get paid anything. So I think by paying them for the meetings that they do attend is fair. Okay, did anyone second it? Yes.
Yeah, Councilman McMorris seconded it.
Okay, roll call vote, Andrew?
Councilman Welsh?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kelly? Supervisor Tompkins?
Aye.
Councilman McMorris?
Aye.
Councilman Frazier?
Aye.
Okay, now the big one. 1716 proclaiming National School Choice Week. Whereas the town of Unionville desires to proclaim the week of January 22nd till January 28th, 2017, National School Choice Week in the town of Unionville, and whereas Dutchess County is home to a multitude of high-quality public and non-public schools from which parents can choose for their children, in addition to families who educate their children at home. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby declares the week of January 22nd, 2017 to January 28th, 2017, National School Choice Week in the town of Unionville.
Town board discussion? Roll call vote?
Councilman Welsh?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kelly? Supervisor Tompkins?
Aye.
Councilman McMorris?
Aye.
Councilman Frazier?
Aye.
Okay, public comments on non-agenda items. There is no. Kathy, do you have anything to say?
Where's the freedom?
Texas. Okay, then I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.